Hey guys, it's me, Bethany Willis with Bethany Willis Team, and I'm super excited because it's that time of the month to do our total market overview. And guys, July has been crazy. I mean, it really has been one of the busiest Julys I've seen in a little while. Like, it's always pretty busy, but it's been nuts. Like, title companies have been having record-breaking months on orders that are coming in. Lenders are having record-breaking months, and us as realtors are having record-breaking months. So it's been really awesome just to see what all has happened in July. We always get a big push because people are trying to move right before school, and then we also get a big push because it's the end of the summer as well, and everyone's trying to get settled in and everything before all the craziness happens. So July has been crazy, and so I was really excited just to see what the market was doing and what the numbers were going to tell, because numbers tell a story, and so I really wanted to see what the story was that was happening. So we are going to get down into it. So for our total market overview, if you are new to seeing our video, pretty much how it works is anything that is 0 to 3 months inventory, that is going to be a solid seller's market. It can even go into 4 months inventory, but really 0 to 3 months, that is a seller market. Anything from about 4 to 7, that's where you're gonna go into like just an even kill balance market is what we call in our world. And anything 7 and up is going to be a buyer's market. So whenever people hear, or if you hear on the news, or if you talk to people or anything like that, and they're like, yeah, the market's great, or the market's not, or whatever, here's the deal. Or even if you look on Zillow, they're always wrong on like all their estimates and stuff. And if you look on there, what's really interesting is it's very hyper local. And so you really have to know what each neighborhood's doing and what each school district is doing. So let's say that you're in one neighborhood and it is completely just popping. I mean, everything in that neighborhood is selling like hotcakes, but you can literally drive across to the neighborhood across the street and it won't be. Houses will be sitting, you'll see a lot of price reductions, everything like that. So that is why this is super important, just to see what the market's actually doing. Now, I have spreadsheets for all of this and we will post them. Facebook doesn't let us post it while we're actually going on. So after this, we will post it and then we can also email it out to you as well. So 4 school districts we're gonna talk about: Mustang, Yukon, Piedmont, and Edmond. So I've got it in those 4 school districts, and I'm going to give you the nuts and bolts of what's going on in those school districts. So Mustang School District. Right now in the Mustang School District, there are 439 houses on the market that are completely active. There are 218 that are pending, and in the last 30 days, 125 have sold. In the last 6 months, 795 have sold. So that's kind of what Mustang is looking at. So as a whole district, it only has about 3.5 months inventory. So it's going from that seller's market to that more balanced market. Now keep in mind, we got to get hyper local, right? So Mustang as a whole, sellers to buyers, but it doesn't mean that your price range is going to be a seller's or a balanced market. So that's what we're going to go into. So anything from about 0 to 175,000, you are looking at 2 months inventory or less. That means houses are flying off the market. If you see that, like for instance, 150 to 175, there are 68 houses on the market, 41 houses pending, and 30 have sold within the last 30 days. So that's a little crazy. And that takes it to 2.3 months inventory. So if you have anything in Mustang School District that's 1 to 175 or even below, those houses are coming on, they're flying off. Now, when you get to about 175 to 200, that's where the market starts jumping up into a more balanced market. It's 4.3 months inventory in that little price range. From 175 to 200,000, there are 86 houses on the market. 47 are pending. 19 have sold within the last 90 days, or not 90 days, 30 days, and in the last 6 months, 115 have sold. Then from 200 to about 225, there's 3.7 months inventory right there. So they're going back down into that solid seller's market. And this is where there's always a threshold. There's always something that always changes whenever we're doing these price breaks. And this is where it changes for Mustang. In Mustang, whenever you're at 225 to 350, so 225 to 350, you are in a straight balance to a buyer's market. Like you are on the edge of a balanced market going straight into the buyer's market. So if you have a house that is within that range, which was 225 to 350, you better price the house right. That is not the type of market that you want to just try to test it out, or we're going to price it at this and then we can lower it later. No, you're going to get behind the market. It's not going to be a good deal. Price it right, have your condition right, and let's get it sold. So that's what you have to do on there. Now, there is another sweet spot, which is in the 350,000 to 400,000. The market goes from 7 to 6 months inventory back down to 3.5. So in 350 to 400,000 in Mustang School District, you've got 21 houses on the market, 8 pending, 6 have closed within the last 30 days, and within the last 6 months, you've got 25. So that's pretty cool. And then once you go back up from about 400 and up, that is where you're going back into that balanced market to the buyer's market. So that's kind of the whole deal. So you've got some sweet spots. You've got from 0 to 175. That's your seller's market in Mustang. And 200 from 200 to 224. That's your seller's market. But whenever you get to 175 to 200, and you get from pretty much 225 to 350, you're going back into a balance or a solid buyer's market. So that's what it is for Mustang. As Mustang as a whole, the average list price is $338,157, and as an average sold price for the whole district is $201,038, which takes it to, they're selling it at about a 72% list price to sell price ratio. So you can see that these sellers are having to give up stuff or pay for things for the buyers, like home warranties, closing cost, things like that. These sellers are going to sell it, but they're still having to pay for some buyers' closing cost or for something. And the average days on market for the whole entire district is 54 days. Now, keep in mind, there's one, like the 275 to 300 stage, that's 100 days, average days on market. So you really have to get hyper-local on that price and what's going on. So that's Mustang for you. Now let's get to Mustang's neighbor, which is Yukon. Yukon as a total has 245 listings on the market. So normally Mustang and Yukon are pretty like around the same. Everything's really similar. There's not really anything different. But what came up for July, which is really different, is that active listings for Mustang is 439. Active listings for Yukon is 245. And I've seen that. I've had some buyers that we've been working for in Yukon, and once it hits the market, it's gone. Once it hits the market, it's gone. Once it hits the market, it's gone. Like it has been, or you're going through multiple offers or whatever. So you can definitely see the listing shortage in Yukon, because I mean, it's almost 200 listings less than what is in the Mustang School District. Pendings, 146. Last 30 days for closings is 106. The last 6 months, they've had 596 closings, and months inventory for the entire district is 2.3. So you can definitely see that, because Mustang, as an entire school district, was 3.5 months inventory, but for Yukon, it's already at 2.3. So you can really tell that things are just flying off the market. Yukon, I know they've been bringing in a lot of teachers, a lot of stuff, and you can definitely see that in the market. So whenever you go from 0 to 250, solid seller's market. If you are looking in the Yukon school district from 250 and under, you better find the house, you better already be pre-approved, and you already better be ready to put down earnest money and get an offer submitted. And it better be an offer that is going to be a good competitive offer, because more than likely you will be going into multiple offers from anything from 250 under in Yukon. It is unbelievable. The highest month inventory we have in that whole price range is 2.8 months inventory, guys. That's not a lot of inventory. So it's been a little crazy with our buyers that are in that. Then there's always, like I said in Mustang, there's line that something's going on, where there's a shift, there's a change, there's something. And in Yukon, it's from 250 to 275. It goes from 2.3 months inventory from the price bracket just below it to 9.7 months inventory. And I said that right, 9.7 months inventory. So if you have a house that is 250 to 275 and you have it listed at like 253, it would really be smart to get out of 9.2 months inventory or 9.7 months inventory and lower it down to where you can get to 259 and get into a price bracket that is 2.3 months inventory. That's flying off the market. Same, if you're in the upper part, if you're at the 274, you could raise it to 276 and get back to a 3 months inventory. So that's some of the things we do on our listings. We definitely show all our sellers all of these so that we can make sure that we are on the market knowing what's going on. So that's the deal in Yukon, is that 250 to 274. And then after that, the rest of Yukon is a seller's market. And that's even in the upper 400, 500,000 houses. Everything has been a seller's market right there. The biggest one that I see is the 500 to 600,000. They've got 4 months inventory. So those are still selling. So Yukon is having a huge burst, and really the only price range in Yukon that is not a seller's market, which this is really crazy to see, is that 250 to 275. So yeah, it's mind-blowing to me because we don't see solid like that very often, and so it's really neat to see. Average list price in the entire district of Yukon is $235,996, and average sold price is $225,458. So they have an average list to sales price ratio of 71%, and average days on market's 45. So that is Yukon and Mustang School District. Now let's go down the road a little bit and let's get over to Piedmont. So Piedmont, we've been watching a lot just because it's a very big growing. A lot of people are moving to Piedmont. They've got a lot of land out there still that is not skyrocketing, crazy busy, or not crazy busy, crazy expensive. And it's just been a lot of people that are flooding from Deer Creek, Edmond. They're kind of going down to Piedmont. People coming from Yukon are going up over to Piedmont. So it's kind of, it's been really, really cool. We're actually building in Piedmont, and it's been unbelievable because all of our open houses that we have in Piedmont are, I mean, there's always people. It's crazy. And so Piedmont has really become a pretty hot commodity. So in Piedmont Piedmont School, now keep in mind, Piedmont School District. And you have to also keep in mind, the Piedmont School District goes all the way to like it's past, we sold and built some houses in Ponderosa, which is over on Northwest 122nd and County Line Road. And I mean, that's right off the turnpike. So a lot of people don't know that the school district of Piedmont goes all the way up into something that we call Northwest Oklahoma City. So anyways, from 0 to 150, everything's flying off the market. It's like 3 to 1 month's inventory right there. Actually, 0 to 124 or 125, there's no listings on the market. So like if you put your house on the market and it's 125 or less, you're going to be the only one in the Piedmont School District that has a house, which makes your odds very, very good on selling. From about 150 to about 225, it goes 4 months, 5 months, 3 months inventory. So it's going from that balance market to that seller's market to the balance market. And so that is still a pretty, it's good steady. Like within the average days on market is 20, 34. So it's still selling. It's just taking about a month or so to sell right there. And then that line that I'm talking about in Piedmont schools is at the 225 to 250, and that goes to 7.5 months inventory. So you have 30 houses on the market, 7 pending, and only 4 have sold within the last 30 days. So if you are in that price range, you have to be super, super, super aggressive on your price, because other people are selling. You've got 30 houses, okay, and only 4 have sold. So you better have good price, great condition, great marketing to get that house that's in the pile of 30 to be one of the 4 that are actually selling. Whenever you go to 250 to about 350, you're going back to the seller's balance market. And then whenever you get, this is really interesting, whenever you get to 350 to 400,000, there is 15 months inventory on the books right now, which is a lot. I know a lot of new construction is happening in the Piedmont schools. Like I said, we're building in 2 neighborhoods in Piedmont, and it's kind of crazy how that's showing up here. So for instance, 350 to 400, you have 15 houses that are listed, you have 4 that are pending, and you have 1 that has sold within the last 30 days. Then whenever you go from 400,000 up in Piedmont schools, straight buyer's market. So that's again where you have to make sure you got the right price and you've got the right marketing and you have the right condition for your house, because that is the buyer's market right there. That's where our sellers are having to pay maybe some buyer's closing cost or a home warranty or something like that. So totals for Piedmont School District, you've got 205 active listings, 77 pendings. You've got 43 houses that have closed within the last 30 days, and then you have 303 who have closed within the last 6 months. Average list price in Piedmont School District is $291,620. Average sold price is $197,831. The list to price ratio for the whole district is 67.2, and average days on market is 62. So that's for the entire district. So now we've gone through Mustang, we've gone through Yukon, we've gone to Piedmont. Now let's go up to Edmond. Now Edmond, I always say, is like a city on its own. It is always crazy. The market's always doing something, and it's unbelievable what has been happening for July in the Edmond School District. So as a whole district, there are 1,087 houses on the market in Edmond schools. That's right, 1,087 houses. Under contract, or what we call pending, there are 429, and the amount of closings within the last 6 months is 1,872. Now, check this out. In the last 6 months, there have only been 1,800. It's 1,872 closings, right? But just right now, there are over 1,000 houses, 1,087 houses on the market. So you can see that a lot is happening in Edmond, because if all those sell, then look what's going to happen in the next 6 months for Edmond. So whenever you go from 0 to 275 total sellers market, you've got some price ranges that are 0.5, 0.6 months inventory, which means they don't even have enough houses to have a full month supply. So 0 to 275, that is literally, things are flying off the market just like they were in Yukon. Whenever you get to 275 to 300, it jumps up to 4.8. So it's still that balanced market. That's just now pulling out of a seller's market. But it's just taking a little bit longer with average days of 41 days on the market. Then you jump back down to 300 to 450. And from the 300 to 450, you're going back to 3 and 4 months inventory. It's unbelievable how it's happening. From 300 to 350, there's a total of 138 houses on the market. From 350 to 400, there's 170 houses, or 107 houses on the market. And then from 400 to 450, there's 84 houses on the market. So it's pretty crazy. And then you always hit, like I said, for the other school districts, we found that line that something was going on. And this is the line for Edmond. The 450 to 500,000. It jumps from a 4 months inventory to a 7.9. So let's even round it to 8. That is a huge, huge jump. And that right there is your solid buyer's market in Edmond. And it's 450 to 500,000. There's 71 houses on the market, 20 pending, and only 9 have sold. So what that means is 71 houses are listed, only 9 have sold. So that right there, if you have a house in that price range, again, that's where you need to make sure you're with a professional that can make sure you're pricing it right, make sure your condition is good, and have outstanding marketing to get that house sold. Then whenever you go from 500,000 and up to over $1 million, you're back into the balanced market. And that is really awesome. What's really, really cool to see is that the average list price is $449,608. The average sold price for the whole district of Edmond is $439,494. And the list to sales price or sold price ratio is 97.9. Now, if you remember, when we were going over Mustang, the average for all of Mustang School District was 72% for the list to sold price. Yukon was 71.7. Piedmont was 67.2%. Edmond, 97.9 as a entire school district. Average days on market for the entire school district is 41 days. So anyways, guys, it's a little crazy. It's with what we were feeling as an industry, it definitely showed up in the numbers. And so I'm really excited to see what August is going to do, because when you have that many listings on the market, a lot's going to happen in August. So anyways, guys, like always, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to call us. Feel free to let us know. Have fun going back to school next week. I know we're all going on some crazy new schedules. Our kids have to be at school at like 7:15 in the morning. So it's definitely hitting our household too. And we are definitely going to post all of these Excel spreadsheets on the comments. So feel free to grab them, and we can always email them out to you. And we hope you guys have a great day, and we can't wait to see you and let you know what August is going to do. We'll see you guys later. Bye.